Simply keep is equal to which are the variables that you want to have. List out all the variables by separating with a single space at least. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
on my desktop, I have a SAS folder. In the SAS folder, I have SAS data folder. In the SAS data folder, I have, demo one text. You know about this text file. I want to create a data set. Shift, right click. I'm going to click on the copy as path. I will go to the program. Now I'm writing the program. Data set name. I want to have EMP, semicolon, set, sorry, in file. I'm
File.
going to give the path of the text file, which is, demo1.txt semicolon. Then I'm writing the input. I want to have EMP ID, name dollar symbol, age, sex dollar symbol, salary, location dollar symbol semicolon wrap. Tell me if I execute this program, how many variables I'm going to have now in the
6.
EMP data set? I'm going to
6.
have a 6 variables because in the program, in the input statement, we have 6 variables. Now in the EMP data set, we are going to have all the 6 variables. Okay. But I do not want to have 6 variables. I want to have only name, salary, and the location. If you want to have only 3 variables, you know what we should do? Data set name, open the parenthesis. What is the option you should write now? Keep is equal to what variables I want to have? I want to have name, I want to have salary, and I want to have location. Close the parenthesis, select the program, execute the program. In the EMP, we are going to have only 3 variables. So now you only tell me how to write, how to define keep is equal to option. How we can define keep is equal to? It specifies
Under the parameter.
variable name,
Variables.
variable names that we want to keep in the final data set, isn't it? In the final data set, whichever variable that you want to keep, you can specify only those variables in the keep is equal to option. Now, what I'm going to do this time, I'm writing my program like this one. I'm writing the same program, but I'm not writing the keep option. If I'm not writing the keep option, tell me in the EMP, say for example, creating EMP1, how many variables I'm going to have in the EMP1 data set?
6.
Yes,
Six variables.
sir.
What is the data set I'm having?
EMP1.
MP1.
Now, I want to create EMP2 from EMP1.
Run.
Now, but in the EMP2, I do not want to have all the variables. I want to have only employee ID and salary.
Here also we can.
So data set name, open the parenthesis, keep is equal to EMP ID. Now select the program and execute the program. We are going to have EMP2. Now can you see in the EMP2, we have EMP ID and salary. So what you can understand from this one, we can use keep is equal to option when we're creating a data set from in-stream data. We can use keep is equal to option when we're creating a data set from text file data. We can use keep is equal to option when we're creating a new data set from
The existing data set.
Now, this time, I will tell you, in the SAS help library, we have a data set called class, okay? In the class data set, we have name variable, sex variable, age variable, age variable, we have a height variable, and we have a weight variable. Now, in the work library, I want to create a data set called class 1, okay? In the class 1, I want to have a name, height, and weight. Tell me what is the program you should write to create a class 1 from SAS help.class.
Data
Data class 1. Class 1.
on the
Set.
Set
class
Class help dot class run.
run.
Next to
data
class
data
1.
set name,
Keep
open the parenthesis, keep is equal to I want to have
name
height, I want to have
weight.
All the
close the
parents.
parenthesis. Now select this entire program, execute the program. We are going to have class 1 data set. Now can you see in the class 1, I have only name, height, and weight. That means when you're copying a data set from different library also, we can use, anyway, this is also data statement, right? So we can use keep is equal to option. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell me one more time. I want to create a class 2. In the class 2, I want to have a name variable. I want to have an age variable. I want to have a height variable. I want to have a weight variable. Tell me how we write the program.
Data.
Data.
Data. Class 2.
Set
Set.
class
Class.
semicolon, run.
Run within the parentheses.
In the parenthesis,
If is equals to name, age, height, weight.
now select the program. How many variables I'm going to have in the class 2?
4 variables.
Very good. We are going to have 4 variables. And by the way, actually, how many variables we have in the SAS help.class?
5 variables.
We have 5 variables. Now, out of 5 variables, how many variables you are getting now into class 2?
4
4.
variables.
Which variables I'm not getting?
ID.
6.
6 variables.
6.
Now, I'm going to write the same program in a different way. Now, data, I'm writing class 3, set I'm writing from the SAS help.class. Okay. Now, I want to have out of 5, 4 variables. That means I do not want to have only 6 variables. Now, in this scenario of the class 3, now within the parentheses, now I'm going to write drop is equal to
Drop is equal
6.
to 6.
So what is the drop option will do? It drops or it excludes the given variable, the specified variable. Now, if I execute the program, you know what are the variables we are going to have in the class 3? So from the SAS help.class, you will get all the variables except
6.
So in the SAS help.class, we have a total of 5 variables. Now we get everything except 6. So that means now also you are going to get name, age, height, and weight. So that means now class 2 and class 3 both are going to give the same result. Now, how we can define drop option now? You only tell me how we can define the drop option.
To drop or remove that particular variable.
Very good. Specify the variable names.
Specifies the
variable-
variable names that we want to drop in
want to-
output data set.
We want to drop or exclude. Okay, exclude variables
Verbal and financial.
from the final output answer or final data set. Okay, if you are writing something in our notes, that means you should know that. You should understand. Then only you should write that in our running notes. Okay, so drops option specifies the variable names that we want to drop it from final data set. Clear, everybody? Now tell me, I want to create a class 4. Okay, in the class 4, I do not want to have height, weight. I do not want to have height and weight. Then how we can say?
Data equals
Data is
Data.
Data. Somebody saying is equal to, should not add is equal to class 5, set SAS help.class, semicolon, open the parenthesis, drop is equal to, select the program and execute it. Now in the class 5, I'm going to have all the variables except
Height
Height
and
and
weight.
now. Do you know about the EMP data set? I will write the program again. No, you will come to know that one. So I am writing a program here. I'm deleting all my previous programs, data sets. Now I'm creating EMP. Now tell me, if I execute the program, I am going to have EMP data set. What variables and observations how many variables and what are the variables I'm going to have?
6 variables.
6 variables.
Variables.
Name, age, sex, salary,
No. I want to create EMP1. In that, I want to have EMP ID, name, age, I want to have a sex, and I want to have a salary. This is my requirement. What you will do?
Drop off.
I want to have
We'll use drops option.
now data EMP1 semicolon set EMP semicolon
Parenthesis.
the parenthesis
Drop is equal to
Now think logically. When you will use keep option, when you will use drop option.
If you want to keep
If you
something
want to remove the more variables,
Yeah, it depends on number of
I
variables.
will, I will tell you a scenario. I have a master data set, okay? In the master data set, I have 100 variables. Now I want to create a data set called new one. In that new one data set, I want to have, 10 variables. I want to have 10 variables. So will you let a keep option or a drop option?
Keep
keep
up.
option.
Drop.
Keep up.
Drop
Keep
option.
option.
Keep up.
Keep
I
option.
want to have only 10 variables.
keep option.
Keep option.
Keep
Keep
option.
Drop option.
Keep option because if you write a keep option, only writing 10 variables would be enough, isn't it? Variable
Yes.
1, variable 2, variable 3, variable 3, 4, like this one, you can write a 10 one. But if you write a drop option, how many variables you should mention?
90.
90.
You should mention 90, which is not a good idea. But లేదు నేను డ్రాప్ రాస్తాను అంటే it's up to you. You can also write drop. But if you write a drop, you have to mention 90 variables. It is time taking. In SAS, not only SAS, any program language, the length of the program directly proportional to the number of typing errors. The more the lengthy program that you have, there are chance of more typing errors, so that more execution errors. Now, I want to create a new two. While I'm creating a new two, I want to have 90 variables in the new two. Out of 100, I want to have 90. What is the best choice now?
Drop
Will you go with
option.
drop? Because if you specify drop option, mentioning 10 variables would be fine. Would be enough. Isn't it? But if you specify keep option, how many variables you should write now?
90.
90, which is not a good idea. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
So it's up to you as a SAS programmer. Whichever you feel comfortable, you can do that one. But I will tell you a scenario. I want to create a cars1 data set. I want to create this cars1 from SAS.cars. Okay. Now, in the cars1, I want to have a variable called make. I want to have variable called model, and I want to have variable called type, and I want to have variable called invoice, and I want to have variable called cylinders. These are the variables I want to have. What you will do? I want to have these.
Keep on data.
You want to keep?
Keep is equal to
Keeping
Why not drop? Tell me, why not drop?
Because of so much of variables.
variables are there in
Why so much variables? How do you know that?
Or if we see only, we will know, sir. That is.
We want all variables, sir.
Do you know how many variables we have in the cars?
Fine. Sir, when we don't know how many variables in the data set,
When we do not
can
know,
use
when
the
we do
keep.
not know about SAS.cars information, you will not have any choice. You have to. I told you what I want to have,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Since you do not know what variables you have here, obviously what you will do now, you will write only keep option, isn't it? Make, model, type, invoice, and then I want to have cylinders. So since I'm saying what I want to have, now you let only give. No, doesn't matter how many variables, what variables we have in this SAS.cars. Now we are going to have a cars1. So whatever the variables that I specified. What is the spelling for cylinders?
CYLIN.
sir.
Sorry, yeah. Now we are going to have those variables. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is about keep and drop. Now, I have a data set called EMP. From the EMP data set, I want to create EMP1. Tell me how we will do that one. Data EMP1.
TMP run.
Semicolon.
While I'm doing this one, I want to have all the variables of EMP data set. But when I'm getting this one, the sponsor asked me, I do not want to have it as a sex variable. I want to have it as a gender.
Rename.
So what we should do? We have to rename the variable name.
Rename.
We have to rename it. How to rename? So to rename, we are going to write an option called rename is equal to. What this rename is equal to do? It renames, it will rename or it renames variable name permanently. Variable name permanently. ఏం చేస్తుందండి? It renames a variable name permanently. And how to write a rename option? Data set name, and you should open the parenthesis. What is the option you should write now? Rename is equal to. Again, you should open the parenthesis one more time. Now we should write world name is equal to the new name. What is the world name? 6.
6.
Is equal to what is the new name you want to have? Now remember, this rename is also variable name, right? We should follow the same SAS naming rules. What are the naming rules we should follow? A SAS name should be less than or equal to 32 characters. It
Starts
should
with
start with alphabet or underscore. You can have a number, but should not start with a number. No special characters except underscore.
Underscore.
So now tell me, how many times I should close the parenthesis now?
2 times.
Since we opened 2 times, you should close it 2 times. Say for example, if you didn't balance it. Now, if I execute the program, you will not get the data set. If you go to the log window, now you will get an error saying that there is a missing right parenthesis for the dataset options list. What we are missing? Expecting a right parenthesis. Where we are missing? Here we are missing. So if you're not balancing the parenthesis, you will get a syntax error. The program will not be get executed. You won't get the data. Now I balanced the parenthesis. Now I executed the program. Can you see? Now we have renamed sex as gender. Understand this one?
Yes.
Now I am going to give a task now. I want to create a class 1 from sasself.class. While I'm doing this one, I want to rename age as student underscore age. This is my requirement. Understand this one, what I want to have? I want to rename age as
Student underscore.
student underscore age. Tell me the program. Data. New data set
class,
name class 1.
class,
Set data set name. Open the parenthesis. Is equal to. Again open the parenthesis. Underscore age. Close the parenthesis. Very good. Now select the program, execute the program. We have class 1 data set. Now can you see how the name has been renamed as a name?
Student.
Yes. Clear everybody?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we write rename equal to rename age equal to student underscore age in the keep option?
What do you want to have?
Like rename, we are giving 2 parentheses like at the end. So can we write in general rename age equal to student underscore age single parenthesis?
You will get an error.
Okay.
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 Now I want to rename 2 variables now. Height as HT. I want to rename weight as WT. Okay. So how many variables I want to rename now?
2
2
variables.
variables. I want to create a class 2 data set.
Okay.
Okay. Now data. What is the data set I want to have? Class 2. Set
Parenthesis.
open the parenthesis. Rename is equal to. Open the parenthesis. First word name. Height is equal to.
Close HT.
Give at least 1 space. Now, what is the second variable? No, you should not write a comma. Okay. Then the second variable, weight is equal to WT. I will tell you one thing. You guys are listening to the SQL classes, right? In SQL, when you're writing a more than 1 variable, you should always separate the variables by comma. That's the fundamental rule in SQL, right?
Yes.
But in SAS, when you're writing a more than 1 variable, you should always keep space between the variables. That's the fundamental difference between SQL and SAS. Okay. If you're writing more than one variable in SQL, you have to separate by comma. Okay, but in SAS, space. Okay. Now select the program and execute the program. I am going to have a class 2. Now can you see what we have in the class 2? The height has been renamed as an HT and weight has been renamed as an WT. This is how we can rename multiple variables in one program. In the real time, every day we are going to use either keep or the drop and rename also. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
టూ వేరియబుల్స్ అలా మారుస్తున్నప్పుడు జస్ట్ స్పేస్ సరిపోతుందా సార్? అంటే
Yes, old variable name is equal to new name space. Second old variable name is equal to second new variable name. That's between that you should keep at least one space. That's it.
ఓకే.
Now we'll make it a little bit complicated. I will tell you one thing.
If something goes wrong, we can check the.
Just listen. I want to have a class 1 data set. Okay. In that, I want to have a name variable. I want to have a sex variable and I want to have an age variable. Okay. While I'm doing this one, I want to rename sex as a gender. Tell me what we should do.
Data.
Keep
No,
data
tell me what we should do.
class 1.
What we should do. Tell me the
and
plan.
rename.
Very good. We have to use keep and rename together because I want to have only 3 variables. I want to have 3 variables and I want to rename sex as a gender. So I need to write both keep option and rename option together.
It should be written simultaneously then. Keep
Yes,
name
you should write both in one program. Both in one program. Then how we can do that one? Data, I want to create a class 1. So from where I want to create this one? From
Someone is presenting.
Your screen not visible. Someone is presenting.
Please, guys, mute, please.
Okay. So that's the thing. Ticket number. Ticket number. Tickets stacked up just, but unfortunately unable to work on those tickets. Shit.
2 minutes, guys. Sir will join again.
Because I thought if I pick that instant, definitely like if someone so I picked it, but without checking the Excel sheet. After checking that Excel sheet, it has 500 scores in it. I mean 500 articles in it to check it in Figo. I will do that only. I will just check randomly. See, again, as people suggested that if articles are not in CO, just perform the mass load. Stupid people. When the article is not in CO, we don't have to do it. Because of that only.
Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We can't push it by performing. They will
Okay. I want to create a class 1 dataset from SASL class. There I want to have a name, sex, age. I want to rename sex as a gender. This is my task. Now I want to create a class 1. Data. First I should write the class 1. Set from where I want to create this one. I want to create this from the SASL class.
The Australian ticket I have assigned it to some other people. What happened to the ticket? This is not today we have same ticket Abhijit, the Australia ticket, because today we got Pamela.
Okay. Now I'm writing set as SASL class semicolon. Then I'm writing the run statement. Then, remember one thing. I told you every time we need to balance the parentheses, right? Best practice is whenever you open the parentheses, close the parentheses simultaneously. Now go in between the parentheses. Now, first, if you want to use keep, rename together, you should always set the keep first. Because the order of the execution is first to keep, then the rename. Okay? Keep is equal to what variables I want to have?
Name, sex, age.
Name, space, sex, space, age.
Age.
Now, within the same parenthesis, now you should write the second option, rename is equal to. Now, again, open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis, go in between them.
Age
Now,
is equal to
old variable is equal to
X is equal to
new.
gender.
Check equal to gender.
Okay. Now select the program and execute the program. Yes, we are going to have a class 1 data set. In the class 1 data set, yes, we are going to have only 3 variables. And now can you see? Yes, we got only 3 and the sex has been renamed as a gender. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Anyway, do you know what variables we have in the SAS self-data class? In the SAS self-data class, we have these variables. We have name, sex, age, height, and weight. Now tell me the same program, how we can write it now? We can also write data, class 2.
Class 2, set
Class
class, semicolon, 1, semicolon. Within the
parentheses, you can write a drop is equal to
height, weight.
Rename is equal to within the parentheses.
Sex is equal to gender.
This is how we should write it. Understand? Now both the programs are going to get the same result, but in the real time, we can use either keep is equal to or drop is equal to. And remember one thing, we cannot use both at the same time, isn't it? Think logically, can we use a keep and drop both same time? No. Either you can keep it or you can drop it.
No.
But you can't write both together. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to create a class 3 data set. Okay. I want to have a name, age, height, and weight. I want to rename height as student underscore height. I want to rename weight as student underscore. Okay, student underscore weight. And along with I want to rename age also. Age as student underscore age. So tell me what should I do?
Data class 3.
Data.
Tell me what should I do?
Keep name
You have to keep and rename.
Okay, data class 3
Class
set
3
SAS
SAS
dot class
dot
run
in
open the parenthesis
Drop
if is equal
name age height weight.
name is you can write drop also.
Height.
Drop రాస్తే ఏం రాస్తే సరిపోతుందండి? If you write a drop, what we should write?
Sex.
Only one.
6. No. Rename is equal to open the parenthesis.
Age is
Equal to
Age is equal to
student underscore age.
student underscore age.
Space.
Height is equal to student underscore
Height.
height. Space.
Height is
Weight is equal to
student underscore
weight. Close the parenthesis one more time. So I opened one time. I opened again second time. So how many times you should close it now? You should close it 2 times.
2 times.
Now I told you, if you want, you can write one statement, multiple lines. So to avoid confusion, you can write like this one also. Select the program and execute it. We have class 3, and yes, we got 4 variables, and 3 variables has been renamed.
Could you please repeat once?
Commands, if any error comes to the tree, you can.
This is my task.
Commands.
Okay, Rabania, how many variables I want to have?
4.
4, sir.
So if you want to have, what is the option I should write?
keep
Keep. I want to rename 3 variables. If you want to rename, what is the option I should write?
rename.
Rename is good.
That's simple. Data, what is the data set I want to have? Class 3.
Class 3
From where I want to create? SAS
SAS.
semicolon run.
And parenthesis.
Now, within the parenthesis, keep is equal to name, age, height, and then weight. Now rename is equal to, again within the parenthesis,
Age.
age is equal to student underscore age,
Height
height
is
is equal to student underscore height,
weight.
weight is equal to student underscore weight. You know it.
Semicolon.
Select it, execute it. Now we have in a class 3, and yes, we got the data. Understand?
Understood. Thank you.
Yes.
In the real time, they will give a raw data set, okay? And they will tell you what they want to have. So now it's up to you. If you are going to use a keep or a drop or rename, it's up to you. But finally, you should write a program according to their requirement. Okay? And whatever that requirement they are telling, they will give the requirement in a form of Excel sheet. That we call it as a specification. Specification, nothing but what they want to have, what they require. They're going to tell you in the specification. That we call it as a specification sheet or rule book. A specification sheet lo untundi what variable they want to have, what are the names they want to have, they will tell you. And according to that, you should write either keep or a drop or rename. Okay? Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, then.
Sir,
We'll continue. Yes.
డెమో క్లాసెస్ లో ఇప్పుడు కీప్ డ్రాప్ ఆప్షన్ పెరాంథసిస్ లో రాసాం కదా సార్.
I
Demo
was
class.
I was waiting somebody would ask this question. Demo class లో సేమ్ నాకు ఏమైనా కావాలంటే ఎలా రాసాను గుర్తుందా? Data, say for example,
Data.
class 4,
Data class
set,
4.
SAS
Set
dot
the
class
keep is keep, name, age, height, weight, semicolon.
semicolon run semicolon.
Remember, this is called keep statement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is called keep option in data statement.
Okay, sir.
Both are going to give the same result. Both are going to give the same result, but the functionality is different. Of course, these are more efficient than options, but I will tell you later what are the differences when we should write each one.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is called statement, keep statement, but this is now keep option in the data statement. Since we are discussing data statement, I'm discussing about these options. But in the demo class, I have
Which is
written
mostly
keep
used, sir.
statement.
Sta-
Statements are more efficient than options, but sometimes we have to use options. You will not have any other choice. Though statement is more efficient, sometimes we have to go with option. Both are equally important. We use both. Depends on the requirement scenario. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We'll discuss about the statements later. I'll come again to that statement later. Okay. Right now, since we're in the data statement, we are discussing data statement options. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. See you in tomorrow's class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good night.